Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in today's video, sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms, we gotta check out this Facebook post. I can't believe it. We're getting King Arthur. We got teasers for the Mayan civilization. We've got information about armament swapping, commander swapping, the new Mayan commanders, the new Mayan troop. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take this thing from the top, because even at the very beginning of this update, it says something impactful. Sneak peek at the upcoming update. King Arthur, the first dual damage type cavalry commander. Dual damage type? Bro, wait, what? Dual damage type commander. The Mayan civilization, the brand new events, which are you most excited about? Stay tuned. Yeah, and also, as we go through this video, leave a comment with what you're hyped about for this update. The once and future king returns. New Return of the King update coming soon to Rock. Arthur Pendragon, and he's got combo talents. Hey, yo, cavalry versatility combo. You know, look, I got 3 kids at this point, okay? And my oldest is, of course, into Moana, and Moana 2 landed recently. So I'll just say, with regard to my recommendations for cavalry players preparing for this, what can I say except you're welcome, baby? Because I called this shot. I call this. Feels good, actually. Let me just break my arm, patting myself on the back. So might maketh righteousness. Oh, man. What a pal. The legendary King Arthur is a central figure in medieval chivalric literature. Among his many other deeds, he's best known for founding the Round Table. Okay, so this is just lore stuff. This is lore stuff. Maybe this lore stuff will point to like what the names of his abilities are, but this commander can be recruited from the Wheel of Fortune and the King's Trial. Okay, so he's going to be a wheel commander, and we're going to get the ability to try him out before you actually get him. That's really cool. Very happy with what I'm seeing here. I was able to predict this, and I'm going to be honest with you, like, it shouldn't take a PhD in rockology to like predict accurately what's coming to the game. So I think this is great. This is awesome. Everything I see here, I'm happy about. Now, Mayan civilization bonuses. I covered this in a separate video, and you know, I think it's listed very clearly here. All types of normal damage plus 3%. I think I did some digging. Now I can't even remember, but I don't think that ranged damage, people were speculating, you get 3% normal and 3% range. So if you're ranged, it was 6%. I don't think that's the case. I ranked the Mayan civilization as confusing and not as impressive as I was hoping for originally. But by the end of that video, I actually landed in a place of feeling like actually the Mayan civilization does have a very clear role. I think it is for archers. I think it will work for these garrisons, potentially. And I think this could be very good still and work for ranged and work for open field. Now, you know, the thing that's interesting about normal damage in the open field is you're like, as long as you're targeting something, you're doing normal damage. And in fact, you'll do counterattack damage to stuff that hits you. So I think this civilization is better than I gave it credit for, but understandably, a lot of archer players were probably like, but I already have Ottoman, or a lot of open fielders were like, I already have Ottoman. So the march speed is obviously better for the open field, but I do think this gives you a little bit of a nudge if you're going to be one of the sort of new healing archer garrisons in this direction. And I think it fills that role actually pretty nicely. All right. So will most people switch to the Mayan civilization? Probably not. But I think it does have a defined role. It just took me a while to figure out what it was. Which brings us to the 2 new commanders. Integration, gathering, and defense. So actually just straight up gathering commander, which I am here for. I am hopeful that this is the epic commander. Okay. And the reason I'm hopeful that this first one is the epic commander is because, like, I mean, I guess if it's the legendary, okay, but we have a lot more to talk about if this one is the legendary. Why? Archer conquering skill. Obviously a, you know, set of talent trees that are very viable in the open field. Archer skills among the most common. Do I feel like we need archers to be a good bit more tanky these days? Yes. Maybe we'll get that. Maybe we won't. Who knows? But I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty hyped to see what their kits are and to see which one is the legendary. I'm just going to assume it's this one over here, the combat one. To me, that would make the most logical sense. And then we've got the spear throwing units. So to really understand these spear throwing units, I'm actually on my end over here going to pull up Rise of Kingdoms and I'm just going to pull up the base stats for a regular archer. And most people aren't going to care too much about this, but just as a reminder about how base stats work, right? You know how the iconic crystals you get give you base stats? That's these things over here. And percentage base boosts are a percentage of this. It is boosting these base stats. So I know that we don't like often talk about, you know, the base stats of units anymore, but like it is very important. I made a video about that a long time ago, and that was a very, very popular video. So now that I've got my game pulled up here at the same time that I've got Facebook up, I can go look at my archer units for the tier 5. I do think these look cool, but my archers have a base of 220 attack, 216 defense, and 212 health. So the attack is the same. The defense is boosted by about 6 base stats. And the health is boosted by about 5 base stats. So more defense and more health, which is really good. Now, you can make the argument that you want your archers to just do more damage, but I think this very slight nudge in the direction of tankiness for the Mayan civilization is really cool. And again, I think the look of them is pretty awesome as well. And we'll see what their, units look like actually in game, at scale, which is, itty bitty, and I'll be in a mode where I can't see it anyways most of the time, but whatever. Let's go on to the next thing here now that we've covered these archer units. I think that's nice, the base health and the defense. Commander swaps. Okay. January will be tested in certain kingdoms before launching to all kingdoms. We get commander swaps. If your kingdom is more than 7 days from the end of Season 2, the event will start 7 days before the end of Season 2, and each character can only take part in the event once. Okay, so this event shows up once. Rules: select 2 commanders, with few exceptions, to swap their levels, star levels, and skill levels. Okay, so I think this is one swap that you get to do. One time, you pick 2 commanders, and you swap their skills and their stars. Now, I don't know if we can read into this picture too much. Hopefully, this picture was done with incredible intentionality and pointing to us several things. First of all, this picture might be pointing to us that you can go from infantry to cavalry. Okay, awesome. Second of all, and by the way, that means cross troop type. Could be a thing we could do. Second of all, it points to potentially gold key commanders to non-gold key commanders, which is also a really, really big deal. If they let it ride in exactly this way, this is one of the most awesome, player-friendly things they could do. And for what it's worth, an early game player could have put a bunch of universals into a gold key commander. Like, yeah, of course you need to be able to swap a gold key commander. Of course you do, right? Because that could be what you invested in. I guess the thing that I'm really playing with is the fact that they said there will be some restrictions. Maybe those restrictions are commanders like Ethelfled can't be swapped. Hard to say. All we can do is point to the picture and interpret that. And if I'm interpreting what I see here correctly, this is pretty cool. Who am I going to go for? I don't know, maybe CY, maybe Lapu Lapu for the funnies. Like, I am not sure who I would swap, but feeling pretty good about this. I wouldn't go run and invest in a gold key commander now to be like, oh, I'll just put my universals in and I can swap it. Like, bro, chill. It's going to be like a couple weeks away. Let's just like see what it is, then do it. Okay. All right, next thing here. Armament Conversion. Develop formations instantly. So, I've said this many times, but I feel like collection needs to be a very rewarding part of gaming, particularly in mobile gaming and in this genre. And I think that this armament swap capability could be very good for that. Why? It says use conversion stone items to convert legendary quality armaments into armaments of the same type for other formations. So scroll to scroll. Funny that they're showing destructive to cocoon. I wouldn't think there's actually a lot of use for cocoon in today's meta and way that the world works, but there's definitely like a lot of criticism surfacing around destructive and its effectiveness at this point in time. Some number of people are just trying to switch out of destructive. They just feel like it doesn't offer very much. That's topic for a separate video. But after conversion, the armament's special and rare inscriptions will change to match the new formation. But the attributes, so the stats, and the common inscriptions will not change, which is huge. So this is great. This is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. The question is just what's the cost going to be? And so why does this matter? If formations are going to come out more than once a year, which I had originally thought the notion was that they'd be like a way less frequent than Commanders thing, but they seem to be as frequent as Commanders right now. But if these are going to be as frequent as Commanders, like we need a way to keep up with what the meta is. And also, if they don't give us a way to switch these around, that means for a new commander to not suck when it shows up and has a new mechanic like combo, okay, it needs to be overpowered because nobody's going to have the formations for it. So if it's balanced around having these things and nobody has them, then it's going to be a bad experience that new commanders show up and they suck, right? So that's, I think, why this exists in part, okay? In part because, like, it takes so long to build a formation that, I mean, years for most people. And most will never get any formation to, like, done perfect unless you're, really committing intensely to that. So TLDR, this is outstanding for a number of reasons. I'm very happy about this. And I'll be making a few swaps myself. It's just a question of what the cost is, right? And that's all we're left wondering. Now, tons of free commanders. Love to see it. Get King Arthur for free. January 10th to 23rd. You complete all the quests to earn new Cavalry Commander King Arthur. If your kingdom's in Season 2 or earlier, you instead get the new Archer Skill Commander from the Mayan Civ. Cool. If we zoom in on this a little bit, can I? Yes. Strength. So we've seen this format a long time ago, actually. But it's kind of like a bingo board. When you do all the quests in a row or a column, you get one of those little crowns, and you need 6 crowns to get the unlock here. Cool. Looking good. All right. What else do we got? First Strike, King Arthur. This is to try him. Cool. We have a trial event for him. Test out an expertise version. And get all tavern commanders free. Calling all governors. Sign in and get all the heroes. Bro, that's amazing. So how does this work? Log in daily to earn all tavern commanders and start the new year off right. Hey, yo. Add that Sun Wu to your collection. Oh, man. Yeah, this is awesome, actually. Joking aside, this is actually really awesome. I've been saying this, but like the updates for Rise of Kingdoms have been fire. They've actually been very, very good. And that's all the pictures, I guess. Wow. Cool. I mean, what do people think about this? What are people saying? A new Gathering commander. Top comment. Gathering! Wow, I can't wait to see King Arthur's skill set. I'm expecting this for Cavalry. Oh, so let's talk about King Arthur's skill set. All right. So what do I think King Arthur's going to do? Since I said these sorts of things should be predictable, okay, based on information that's been provided and stuff that's in game, we know what the combo formation does. And the combo formation does things like making it so that triggered effects trigger more frequently, or when you trigger combo, you get, I think it's more damage mitigation. So I think he's going to have some really cool triggered effects. And they're either going to be really cool or lots of damage. And I think the most interesting, most broken possibility space for combo might not even be lots of damage, but it might be some sort of utility that you get based off of combo triggering. This is my suspicion. Combo is going to be scary, bro. Especially for Rally Garrison. Especially the way that formation is designed. Especially for Rally Garrison. But if you want to see how that goes, consider subscribing. I'm feeling pretty good about my recommendations on this one, right? Like, as soon as I saw combo show up in game, I said, hey, Chadsky, you should do this. And I'm 2 for 2 on amazing armament recommendations to Chadsky. Right? Like, when he got Fearless for Arch, I was like, you have to move all in. And this was like a year before Smite damage showed up. And I was like, well, I was right. Right? I was right. And like, as soon as I saw combo and I thought the timing might be Cavalry, I was like, you want to be the Cav guy? And like, you move in. And here we are. This is very cool. Let me know your thoughts about the update down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe to the channel. Happy freaking New Year, everybody. I have so many videos I want to make. It's actually insane. I got to get after it. Until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies, and check the cards over here. These are videos. I think you'll like them. I don't know what I'm going to recommend, but I'm going to pick out some bangers for you. Boom, 2 vids. Check them out. Take care, everybody.